Hi and welcome to episode 3 of my freelance life. This afternoon, you can tell it's afternoon because all the natural light has gone, so note to self, do this earlier. This afternoon I'm going to be talking to you about my 2015 goals for freelancing, for my blog, why I've made those goals, why as freelancers it's important to make goals, and just some of the process around kind of creating those and making them doable. So I guess to start off with, I want to talk about why it's important to make goals, and I think especially for a freelancer this is really important, but I think at the beginning of a new year it tends to just be habit to make New Year's resolutions. It's a fresh start, even though it's kind of a bit of a fake one because it is just any other day, January 1st. But it feels like a fresh start, and there's nothing like a fresh start to kind of get some goals going and have some things to work towards for the end of the year. So I've always made goals for my life in the new year. Some of them I've kept, some of them I haven't. But this year is kind of my first year as a freelancer for the full year. I think it's especially important because it gives me focus, just even in the day-to-day. I think without goals it can be easy to become listless and be overwhelmed by everything there is to do, or on the flip side of that there might feel like nothing to do. So I think it's just good to have goals because it helps you to plan your days out, plan your weeks out, your months, and eventually your whole year is kind of full up with intentional, purposeful tasks. So for me, I listened to a podcast recently. It was by a couple who run Screw the 9 to 5. So Google them, look it up, listen to the podcast on making goals. It was really, really good. So I'm not going to talk too much in detail on how I came up with my goals because I think you should listen to that podcast and take their advice there. But it is kind of a pyramid structure to the goals. So at the top of the pyramid there's the goal, the big goal. The middle of the pyramid is kind of the 3 major things that you need to do to reach that big goal. And then at the bottom of the pyramid it's the individual processes, so down to like the day of the week or the time of day or the number of blog posts or whatever it is relevant to your goal, to the steps that you need to take to get you to that middle level, which then get you to the top level. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, go to Screw the 9 to 5 and they'll explain it much better than I did. But for me, I have some goals around my freelancing, I have some goals around my blog, and I have some personal goals as well. But my main goals are around my blog because it's something that I've been working on for almost 5 years now. Seems crazy to say that. But it's never really been at the point where I want it to be. So now that I have this time, I want to be really intentional about it and make it work for me, I guess. 5 years of work is a long time, so I want it to start giving something back, I guess. And a friend of mine, Monica, who you may know as the Travel Hack, recommended this book to me. It's called Epic Blog. It's a little planner. I mean, you could probably just write it all out yourself, but it's nice to have it in one place, and it does make it easy to plan things out. So it's specifically designed for bloggers. There's everything from kind of business plan section to a monthly content calendar, so you can like fill in the days and fill in what content you want to do on each day, and some space for notes. And then there's like a monthly goal tracker, I guess. So you put in your goals at the start of the month, how many blogs you want to write and what sort of things you want to achieve throughout the month, and then at the end of the month you go back and you look at whether you actually achieve those goals or not. And I think that's another important thing when you're looking at goals, is to go back regularly and assess them and see if they're still reachable and manageable, and if there's anything you need to change in your plan to kind of make that happen, or if they're starting to look too easy, if you're being, if everything's going according to plan and better, then you can start making some targets and goals that are even bigger and better than you thought at the beginning of the year. So I think it's really important to have goals. I think it's a great idea to have really specific tasks and really specific things in place to make sure that you can reach those goals, rather than just saying, I want to triple my blog traffic by the end of the year, and then not having anything in place to make sure that you do that. So being specific is really important, and just constantly reassessing them and seeing how you're going and measuring your results against what you hoped for. So that's it for me today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on goals and whether you have a strategy for creating goals, if you think that there's a better way to do it than the way that I've just described. And make sure that you subscribe to my feed so that you don't miss out on any more vlogs, and I shall see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.